Hey everyone, it's Jacob here from Campbell's Estimating Services. So today we're going to run through how to start a job using the builder's template. Plus, I'm going to run through a little bit about plans and what needs to be added in there versus what you don't really need in there to simplify your estimating process a little bit. So let's have a look and I'm going to show you now. Here we are in the Buildxact dashboard. So from here, where we're going to go is we're going to go down to estimates and then templates. And you'll see a Campbell's estimating, either a builder's template or you might have a different subscription. So whatever template you're subscribed to, you can just go and click that green button next to it, use this template to create a new estimate. And this is pretty important up here to click include template quantities. I'm going to click that. Description, I'm going to just use a test estimate. Building type, I know that the job I'm going to be working on is a double story. The job address, I'm just going to call it 123 Test Street. And then the client, for this example, I'm just going to use one of the sample clients that Buildxact have there, which is Hunter. Click Create Estimate. And that's just going to load and it's going to put in all of the recipes. It's going to be putting in all of the items that are already built in there, the prices that are in there, and that's all going to come across now into your estimate. Perfect. So that's just loaded. So what's happened there is you can just see the templates page here. And if it doesn't load automatically, you can go into the estimates and click on the actual job. But it looks like here, my one might be loading already. Just having a little think about it at the moment. Here we go, perfect. So here we've got the test estimate. You can put in on this estimate details page, you can put some estimate details, maybe the work location, the address, the client details in here. We've got notes, we've got lead details, the client portal, as well as documents. So documents I usually recommend using to put like your quotes in. So if you've got the PDFs for the quotes, you might have some electrical quotes or some carpentry quotes. I would recommend putting them all into here so you can access them and understand what quotes have been used for this estimate. So from there, we'll go to the plans and takeoffs page. And in the plans and takeoffs page, I usually recommend before even starting the job is uploading plans and engineering. Perfect. So I can see that standard plans from Buildxact have already come across. So I'm just going to delete them. Delete. And then click upload a plan. Drag and drop the plans I want to use. Click import. I don't bother going through selecting the pages there. If it's not a massive set of plans, I usually just import the whole thing and delete the pages that aren't necessary from there. So there's always going to be a few like note pages and things like that you're not going to need to do any like takeoffs on or anything like that. So here I've just clicked scale in there because I want to go through these plans straight away. So here's the general notes page. I'm not going to need to do any takeoffs on that. So I'm just going to click delete plan, confirm. The revisions, no, I don't need to do any takeoffs, delete. The site plan, I might want to use the site plan to do some temporary fencing takeoffs. So I'm actually going to just rename this one site plan. And then the way I do scaling is I actually set the scale based on what the plan says. So I can see 1 to 200 in here. So I'm going to set that to 1 to 200, apply to this plan, confirm. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to check that scale. So I'm just going to go to one of the measurements from zooming in. Just click here and here and make sure that that's close. So that's very close to where we need it to be, 5.99 or 6. So I'm happy with that scale. So I'm going to continue now. We've got a contour plan. Maybe we might want to refer to this when we're doing some earthworks takeoffs. So I'm going to call this one a contour plan. Scale that as 1 to 200 as well. I know from the last one that 1 to 200 should be accurate based on this set of plans, and I'm pretty trustworthy once I've done a few scales of each type of scale on a set of plans. So I can click apply to this plan. But if you do want to be certain that the takeoffs and the scaling is correct, you will need to check on every single page. And it is good practice to check on every page. So that's very close as well. So I'm going to say, yep. So in here, I can see the floor plan, definitely going to need to do takeoffs in here. So scale is 1 to 100. So I'm going to call this, I'm actually going to shorten this name a little bit to make it easier and call it GF plan. So ground floor plan. Scale that to 1 to 100, apply to this plan. Once again, checking the scale because this is a different scale. The other ones were 1 to 200. This is 1 to 100. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, go from there to there. Perfect. That's pretty much bang on 1 to 100. Go through. So this is level 1. So we're going to say first floor plan, so FF plan. Scale that 1 to 100, apply. Once again, so for this example, I'm going to show you good practice and just check the scale on every single one. 7, 9, 6. So very, very close. Happy with that. Once again, scale 1 to 100. And the elevations, call this elevations, or you can just call it ELV, elevations, 1 and 2. Apply to this plan, confirm. And the way you can see there's no actual measurements on this one. So the way to check this is I'm going to check it against the floor levels. So here we have 10,300. And the next one down, what have we got? Ooh, that one's a bit low. Here we go, 7,750, which is this line here. So if I go from here up to here, we can say there you go, 2.56. And I'm actually just going to open up the calculator as well to confirm that that's right. So here we've got 10,300, deduct right here 7,750. 7,750 equals, so 2,550. So that's very close once again. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to close that. So we're going to remember in the top of our heads 2,550 for the next page as well. So go into the next one. We're going to have elevations. Here we go, 3 and 4. Once again, elevations 3 and 4. Set that scale to 1 to 100. Apply to this plan. And as you remember saying before, 2,550. We're just going to quickly check that against here. 255. Perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. Section 1. So this might be used to help you with like ceiling heights. I usually recommend keeping sectional views as part of your takeoffs because you might use it as help when it comes to scaling or when it comes to figuring out how tall something is or where something's going. So in here, once again, we're going to go section 1. Or if you want to shorten it, you can just go sec 1. Or even shorter, you can just do S1, section 1. So this one is scaled to 1 to 50. Apply to plan, confirm. And I'm going to check it once again against those levels because we don't have any measurements. So if you can, do it against a straight line. So here you can see it comes all the way up against this wall. So obviously the straighter the line, the more accurate your scale is going to be. So I can see this is once again 2,550, and that's exactly on the mark where we want to be. Next set of plans in here, we've got 3D views. These ones aren't going to be used for takeoffs realistically, so I'm actually just going to delete these. Confirm. Next setup plan, the foundation plan. So this one might help you with the step downs, have a bit of an understanding of what's going on, but you realistically probably don't need them if you've got a set of engineering as well. For these sets of plans, I do have engineering, which I'll show you through next. So I'm going to delete this foundation plan. Confirm. Go back. Floor coverings lower. Because I've got the floor plans in there, which are going to be exactly the same as this, but with measurements, I can look at this and refer to this on my other page, but I don't realistically need this as a set of plans. So delete. Once again, floor coverings for the upper floor. I'm going to click delete. Go in here, electrical. So this is the electrical, the ground floor plan basically. So I'm just going to call this elec GF plan. Scale it 1 to 100. I know because I can trust these setup plans from the other scales that I've done. I know that 1 to 100 has been accurate. And I know that this particular draftsperson is going to be quite accurate with their scale. So I can trust that on this page. So I'm going to now go to the next page. Once again, we have the electrical plans, but for the first floor. So I'm going to call this elec first floor plan and set that to 1 to 100 as well. Apply to this plan, confirm. Next one, we've got laundry layout and bathroom, plus the powder room too. So this can be obviously really good when you're doing your tile layouts. This is really handy to see where the tiles need to go. So we're going to say this is I'm going to say lawn, bath, and powder, and scale them to 1 to 50. Apply to this plan. Confirm. And we're going to quickly check that against one of these measurements. So I can see I've got 1760 here. I'm going to check that against it. Go across. 17. That's very close here. Perfect. So now that once again I know that it's 1 to 50, we can go in here. We've got the pantry and kitchen. I usually like to name the plans starting with the more important room. So the kitchen's more important than the pantry. I'm going to say this is the kitchen and pantry. We can say kitch and pantry. Scale it 1 to 50. Apply to these plans. Go in, we can check it against it once again. 3090 is what we're looking for, 309. Happy with that. So we've got the living cabinets and the barbecue on this one. So we'll say we'll just say living maybe. And barbecue. Scale 1 to 50. Apply to this plan. Once again, like I said, I'm applying the good practices on this, and I'm actually just checking the scale on every single page. But once you're confident with a certain draftsperson, or you know that they're very good at their job, you can probably go through this process a little quickly. I would always recommend properly checking though. In here, once again, now we have the ensuite and the bathroom, so we can say ensuite and bath. Scale them 1 to 50. Apply to this plan. We've got a good measurement here, 2.4 meters. Down in there, yeah, that's right on the mark. Here, and then we've got the window schedule. Realistically, we won't be doing any takeoffs on that window schedule. You might want it if you want to refer to skirting or architraves or do anything like that. That's really a user preference. For me, I don't really use the window schedule that much unless it has the scaled drawings of the windows and the doors. that's when I will leave it in here. But for this case, this one doesn't have scaled windows or doors on there, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this page. So that's the plans imported. So I can click close from there. So plans are now imported, they're scaled, we're ready to go for them, but I also want to put in the engineering. So I'm going to say add a plan, drag and drop over my engineering, click import, and we're going to go through that exact same process that we did with the plans, now with the engineering. And it's very similar. What we're doing is we're checking scales, or we're checking whether the pages need to do any takeoffs on them. With engineering, there's a lot of note pages, so we're going to be deleting a lot of pages in there. I'm just going to open up the plans on my other screen here. So here I've got the plans again. I'm just going to show you here. Drag and drop them into this page. Click confirm. So here we've got the engineering, and the plans are just loading on my other screen as well. Here we go. So I've got the plans open. So I'm going to use these plans and use these floor plans to make sure that my scaling is correct for my engineering as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll just drag these across to my other page. Go through. So I'm not going to need to do any takeoffs on this page straight away. That's a notes page. We go ahead and delete it. We've got the footings and slab plan. Definitely going to need to do some takeoffs on that. So I'm going to call it eng footing and slab. And with engineering, I always like to reference that it's engineering, so I know straight away when I'm flicking through plans through Buildxact, I know which ones are my official engineering and which ones are my plans. So I'm going to set this to 1 to 100. I believe it's 1 to 100, but there's no actual measurements on here. There's a scale down here which does say 1 to 100 right at the bottom of the plans, but with no actual measurements on here, it's very hard to tell unless you're referring back to the plans. So on the plans I've got here, I can see the front of this garage. This is a really good measurement to use because you can go end of wall, end of wall. We've got 6080. That's this measurement in here. Well, I'm just going to zoom into that so you can see it a bit better. 6080. So that's this wall here. Move that back. So I'm going to zoom into this, and I'm going to check that this wall is 6080. So that is very close. We're measuring, yes, well, actually it's right on 6.80, 6.1. It's roughly exactly where I want it to be. So I'm quite confident that this is actually set to scale at 1 to 100. Now we're going to go to the next one. We're not going to do any takeoffs on this, so I can straight away delete that. Go in here. Once again, we've got another notes page, details page. And we can have them open on our other screen while we're doing the estimate. So it's not really necessary to clog up all the plans you've got in there in Buildxact. I recommend keeping it quite clean in Buildxact and only having what's necessary to do takeoffs on. So I'm just going through, deleting all the notes pages in here. Delete. Once again, more notes, delete, delete. More notes, delete, notes and details. Here we go. This is an important page. We've got floor framing, lower roof framing. So I'm just going to call this ground floor. Sorry, engineering, ground floor framing. Set that scale to 1 to 100. Apply to this plan. Whoops, not apply to all plans, apply to this plan. Confirm. So in there we can see, you can check against this as well. So we've got, once again, that same measurement here. And we're looking for 6080 or close to that. So 6090, very, very close. So I'm pretty confident that I might have even clicked slightly different, but I'm very confident that that's going to be very close to scale. Now we've got the upper floor plan for the framing plan. So I'm just going to call this so engineering, first floor plan, first floor framing, sorry. Set that scale to 1 to 100, apply to this plan, confirm. And what I can do is I can refer back to my plans once again, look at the full measurement and say, okay, 7970 is that full measurement for this whole page. So go back to this, zoom in, I'm looking for 7970, measure that across here, just to confirm that that's right. So 779 was at 70, so 798. So that's very, very close. So I'm going to say that that's accurate. Ground floor bracing plan. This is all the same sort of thing. So we're going to call this engineering. Ground floor bracing. Set that scale 1 to 100. Apply to this plan. And I'm going to now check again for that measurement across the bottom here, which was, what was that? 660, was it 80? I'm just checking on my other page. 6080, that's correct. So that's a little bit off, but if I go and check it again, I might have clicked it slightly wrong. So yeah, that's pretty close. I'm very happy with that. So that's going to be right on 1 to 100. So now we got the first floor bracing plan. So I'm going to call this engineering, first floor bracing. Set the scale 1 to 100. Apply to this plan, confirm, and we can now check the upper floor, which was 7970. And I'm referring back to my other page just in case, because it's very easy to forget, exactly what's going on. So what have we got? 7970. I try and get that as accurate as possible and close as possible to those corners. 79, perfect. Here, once again, we've got another detail page. We don't really need that for any of our takeoffs. More details, delete. We got some more details. We can delete them as well. Once again, more details and specifications, construction notes, general notes, delete, 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 construction notes again, delete that. So here we go. We only actually used out of that engineering plan, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And that's all we need to do our takeoffs on. If we need any of those details, we can refer back to the engineering on the other page. So from there, click close. And that's everything you need to do to start a job in Buildxact. So that's all the starting with the template, entering in the plans, and then from there you can go through and start with your estimate costings. We can go through and start doing takeoffs based on these plans. We can also go through our plans and takeoffs page and enter in some of the quantities in here too. Perfect. Thanks for watching.